Welcome back to the She Shines show, everyone. We are so excited to be sitting here with Sade Jones, time management coach and content creator. Sade, please say hello to all of our watchers today.
Hi, everyone. I'm so excited to be here.
We are so excited to have you, Sade. We cannot wait to dive into tonight's topic. But first of all, can you tell our viewers a little bit more about yourself, as well as kind of what led you to time management coaching and content creation?
So I am a New Yorker. I love to claim that because I currently live in Atlanta. I recently moved here. And I feel like New York's have a certain, attitude. So I I am a former advertising professional. I actually worked managing Fortune 500 ad campaigns for the past 6 years up until when I quit, which was 2 months ago. And I went full-time in time management coaching as well as a content creation. And I essentially started that journey being pushed by my business coach. So the first hurdle was first hiring the business coach. And then it was a big decision for me and it was pricey, but I decided to do it because I had always had my blog, The Fire Inside Sade, and I would be sharing personal growth, lifestyle and wellness tips. And I really enjoyed that platform, as well as I started an influencer platform, sharing just tips about my life on Instagram. And then I also had an e-commerce business. I was doing a bunch of things outside of my corporate career, but none of them were making enough money, honestly, to supplement that salary that I had. So that's why I stayed. And then, so in 2020, it was about March or April when I decided to do the coaching, and we niched down on time management because it was something that always came natural to me that I was good at, because I was project managing at work. I was honestly project managing my life and my friends' lives, like everyone around me. And I didn't even notice that was what I was doing. And I realized, okay, I can actually package this up and sell it. So that's now what I do. And I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying it a lot so far.
Yes, I love that you really identified like what strengths do you have that other people ask you about or that you can offer others. That is amazing advice in and of itself. So thank you. We're already getting to the good stuff, but now we're going to shift gears a little bit and talk about this time management thing, because it's something hard, right? Especially for multi-passionate women.
Yes, the struggle is real.
It is. So what time management tips can you, I know this is such a broad loaded question, especially for a time management coach, but what time management tips do you have? Just a few, maybe like 3.
Okay. So my first tip, and the most important one I would say, is to set your priorities and plan what you want to do the night before. I always say that your day starts the night before, not the day of. A lot of people have that lack of clarity when they wake up, and that throws them off and they end up being all over the place. But if you set those priorities, so not just your to-dos, but setting the priorities. So what's the most important urgent things you need to get done from that list? And I recommend having no more than 7, but having those top 3. So that would be my first tip. My second tip would be to, when you actually are going to go do those tasks, focus on one thing at a time and do your best not to multitask. And a great way to do that is the Pomodoro method. And if you haven't heard of that, briefly, I'll explain that it's 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off. So 25 minutes of work, 5-minute break, and you can do that through many different apps. One of them is called Focus Keeper. So I would say those are my top 2 tips. If I were to give like flat out best time management advice, it would be those 2.
Those are so great. I know we can't wait to start implementing both of those immediately.
Yes. And from someone who waits until the morning of to plan their day, I am very excited to do that tonight, to start planning my day tonight instead of waiting. So looking forward to the clarity. Thank you. So can you tell us a little bit of the common distractions that you see in business owners that may cause them to lose their focus, and things that they can do to kind of get back on track and limit all those distractions out there?
So common distractions that people have are, first, not having priorities, like I talked about, not having any type of clear direction, not knowing exactly what they're going to do, setting these goals that are just really vague, like I'm going to start a business next year, but not making it specific. That's that's not a goal, that's a dream. Goals have benchmarks.
Ooh, speak it, girl.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then another one is, we all deal with this, social media, emails, just other people needing our attention or wanting our attention. Or, obviously these apps were made to get our attention. So turning those notifications off is a great way to limit those distractions. I always have my notifications off, but for some people that's extreme. I get it. You want to see who liked your photo. If you want to have notifications on, I would say then turn them off when you want to do a really focused task, and then turn them back on when you want. I love to set those boundaries with even my family and friends. Like certain people know not to call me or text me during a certain time because that's usually when I'm like doing focused work. So that's one of my tips for just getting rid of that distraction. That'll limit a lot of your distraction. But tips for getting really clear on your task is just really planning it out. I always like to say, get a sheet of paper, write your goal at the top, and then write all the tasks you need to get done right under it. That's a great way to just like really quickly get your tasks out.
I love that. So you just see it all on paper, and you can
All
just
there.
start at the top and work your way down.
That helps with the overwhelm.
Yes, absolutely. When you can see it all, I think you realize either it's super overwhelming, but you're only going to get it done one little step at a time, or you're like, hey, this isn't going to be so bad.
Yeah. Well,
that's so good.
Yeah, let's touch a little bit on that overwhelm that you mentioned, because like yourself, you're a solopreneur. I mean, it's Anna Laura and I together, but we still experience overwhelm. So what maybe mindset tips do you have for small business owners on dealing with that overwhelm, especially the up and down journey of entrepreneurship? I mean, there's task burnout, we can let self-care go. So what's your advice to us on decreasing that overwhelm?
So I feel like everything I'm saying is tying back to priorities, but priorities are literally key for time management. So a good way to essentially stop that is to really get clear on what exactly the most important things you need to get done are. And then another tip is also just setting those into small chunks and not having more than 7, like I mentioned. And also limiting your time, like setting a limit for the time you want to work and not work. So a lot of people have morning routines, but they don't have wind down routines. And it's really important to set aside that time for self-care and set aside that time for breaks. So prioritizing that just as much as you prioritize your really important tasks for work is because they are just as important, because you can't serve from an empty vessel. So it's like if you're taking care of yourself, you'll be able to do things better in general and be more productive. So rest is also productive.
Yes. Give yourself grace. We are big on that here at She Shines. Like, it's so much of what you just said. We're like, yes. And I love what you said too about having the wind down routine. It's almost like having that, like instilling a commute within yourself. You commute to work, you commute from work.
Yeah,
I mean, exactly. I don't know how much commuting we're doing at the moment, but when you're able to set that within yourself, like if you are working from home or working for yourself full time, having those boundaries will definitely, it can only help, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is there any other kind of last piece of advice you have for women who are working full time and growing a business on the side, or maybe who are working more than one of their own businesses?
I feel like I'm saying the same thing again, but it's really, I would say, get super clear on your goals and prioritize how important they are. I think a lot of people, like I mentioned, they're not clear on what they want to get done. So then they end up getting the different things done, and sometimes the tasks don't really connect. So get very clear on what exactly you want to get done, and also try to batch it. So maybe you theme your days. So for instance, like my Mondays are all for creativity. My Tuesdays are more all for like calls or podcasts and things like that. So putting those tasks together and getting very clear on the deadlines for them will help you. And also don't give yourself too many things to do. Like I know I mentioned it. If you limit it, you'll feel more accomplished.
I think that one needs to be repeated, honestly, because I think we definitely overestimate what we do in a day.
Exactly. So you get so much more done in a month if you just, so even like I always say, like if you worked on your goal for 30 minutes for 30 days versus working on it for 8 hours in one day, you're going to get more done working on it for 30 days.
Ooh, that's great. Great advice. Sade, thank you so much for everything that you shared with us. We would love to know, where can we connect with you?
So you can find me on Instagram. That's my main platform. And my Instagram is Sade Jones _. That's SadeJones_. And you can find me on my website, thefireinsidesade.com.
Awesome. Yes. And lastly, what are you working on right now?
So currently I am revamping my group coaching program, and I'm going to be launching a course, and I'm also working on a YouTube channel. So I'm filming both videos for both right now. I'm getting into video content creation. So yeah, that's been very exciting. And I'm also offering free time management strategy sessions. They're 40 minutes and we go assess your problems. We talk about some solutions. So if anyone's interested in that, you can literally just DM me, or you can book a call through the link in my Instagram bio.
We will be DMing
we'll be booking. Your first 2 DMs will be us booking now. Oh, well, thank you so much, Sade, for sharing all of your amazing tips with us on time management, making things priority, starting your day the night before and not the day of, really reminding myself here. So thank you. Thank you again, Sade. And thank you everyone for watching the She Shines show. Until next time, keep shining.
Hey there, I'm Anna Laura.
And I'm Alex, and we are the founders of She Shines. So whether you are working full-time, you are a side business queen, full-time entrepreneur, or somewhere in between, we are here to support you.
Yes, and we love doing that through connection, community, and girl talk, usually with a glass of champagne in hand. And we would love to connect with you, whether it's through our She Shines Academy, through our podcast, through an event, or through our text fam. We would love to answer your questions and help support you any way that we can.
We hope to hear from you soon. Cheers, girlfriend.